can begin. Hello, my name is Nicholas. I'm the host of Chicago's Playbook, and in today's episode, we're going to be interviewing three fashion brand owners from Chicago. They have been the people that have stuck to me the most out of Chicago and out of all the brand owners I know. We are joined by Vital, who's the owner of Vital Chinatown. He's one of the best salesmen I've ever seen on action. And we're joined by Drew from Odyssey Rebuild. Odyssey Rebuild, one of the best collections of reselling clothes. And then by Sam from Marco Squared, one of the, again, best collections from Designer Archive Fashion. So the whole idea of this podcast is so that you guys can kind of mentor the people who are listening into how to build your own fashion brand. Each of you have a different approach to building your own fashion brand. Some of you are more active on online platforms like Drew. You have your own store at Vital. You have people who work for you every day. You have guards. You have a different system. You have your own uh, space where you kind of display and you do pop ups all the time with different people. So each one has a different approach. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you questions about something specific, and the idea is so that you don't respond like one. That you guys try to ask each other questions that you might wonder that you might have, and try to create like a discussion between us that can be effectively um, sent to the viewers and the audience. So I want to begin with the first question, and it's can you guys tell me a bit about yourselves and why do you guys think I chose you? Why do you guys think I stuck with you or your brand or what you do? So let's start with Vital.
Time to toot our own horns, huh? Um, I think maybe I stuck out just because one, having a boutique, compared to many other entrepreneurs in the fashion world that are working to get there, or maybe that's not the vision, right? So I think I stick out in that reason, but specifically how us as the brand of Vital Chinatown uses the boutique, not only as a platform to make sales, but to impact our community, right? Connect with others, and do something cool in the fashion world. So maybe that's why I stuck out to you on top of being a good salesman.
Yeah, I think my brand adds a layer of online sales. That's my main channel. But recently we've been doing pop-ups around the city with Marco and different stores around here. So expanding those brands or those channels, I mean.
Yeah, kinda maybe just, like, our curation, and I feel like kinda like the community thing as well, like, we do, like, the pop-ups like Drew was saying, just getting a lot of people in the same room, which brought you there, so just seeing that and a lot of clothes that you don't normally get to see in Chicago, I feel like that's kinda like what we bring to the table at, Marco Squared.
I definitely want to learn more about that pop-up space. That's really cool. Like, how long have you guys been, or you've been doing that?
So we've had it's like a showroom we have, like, it's a permanent space.
Mhm, mhm.
So this will be like we probably had it's going on our 2nd year, so it'll be like year and 4 months, but our 2nd lease.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's been since like last June that we opened. We moved into a new one. But yeah, we're open every day for appointment,
Yeah.
but we do pop-ups. We try to do like once a month just because like I was saying the community aspect, because like appointment-based shopping kind of like deters people
Right.
sometimes.
Sometimes there's a little bit of a pressure to like
Yeah.
with something which is like, like entirely created in the customer's mind. But like I feel that too. Whenever like somebody takes time out of their day to like meet with you specifically, it's like, well, I wish I had something to reward you with. But
Yeah. And we tried the appointment-based thing at our boutique before too. We're luxury. That's how we market ourselves. And appointments is very luxury, right?
yeah.
But I think there's that added pressure there, right? But I think that's really cool. I mean, you're 2 years young with a physical space. We're 2 years old too. But it sounds like you're really using it like a community platform with the pop-ups, right? Like allowing different people to pop up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Really
no,
cool.
it's
Really
cool,
cool.
like but it's, like, the people that we also, like, we're, like, intentional about who comes in too, like, Drew has a really good curation, so, like, once I met him, I'm like, "Oh, this is perfect," like, it aligns with what we do, so it's like, "Alright, let's bring him in," you know what I mean?
For sure.
So we try to do that as well, because then you bring in the like-minded people that like Drew stuff or like our stuff.
Well, I'm glad you brought us together here
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he knows Vital Boutique. We do Vital Chinatown is the name. We do that a lot too, right? We find different brands, entrepreneurs, artists, and just find really cool ways to collab and do something cool because it's easy to stay in your own lane in fashion, but like to expand in your own community, combine with others and do something positive. I think that's dope.
Yeah,
So it's totally cool to learn about this space.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think I spoke this
Yeah.
with Drew like maybe 2 weeks ago or something. But what inspired you guys to like have your own fashion boutique, fashion store, or fashion like thing? Is it were you always into fashion or?
Yeah, personally, with me, it's like I've always been like a little bit chronically online, you know? So it's like I have this knowledge base built up, you know, and it's something that I personally love, have like the passion about to wake up and every day and do, you know? So it just kind of seemed like you have the opportunity, why not, you know? Otherwise, that's a recipe for regret.
What about you, Sam?
I would say for me, it was like, and I run it with my brother as well, who couldn't make it here. But so with us, it's like we would always go to like we got to like travel out when we were younger. We were lucky for that. And we got to see a bunch of different cities, and like they had stores that had like the type of clothes that we were interested in. We always felt like Chicago didn't have that. And like I love like trying clothes on, like feeling them, like seeing how it fits on your body, or just getting like excited about it. So that wasn't in Chicago, so I was like, okay, let's bring that here. And like that was kind of the main thing I wanted to do, like bring a space that people like me could go there and be like, wow, and get excited about clothes. That's in Chicago. So yeah.
What about you, Vital?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can relate with filling in the gap, right? So I think I've always, for as long as I've been an adult trying to make money in fashion, right? I've resold, right? So other brands, mostly sneakers. And so when I opened up the boutique 2.5 years ago, that was what it was. It was a sneaker boutique. Just let's make money. But then we started to meet so many people and recognize what an opportunity we had with a platform like that to actually cause some cool impact in the community, invite others that are outside of Chinatown, right? Show off Asian values and fun things like that. So I think that's where we started the clothing brand. And we saw that as a platform, right? We can make cool shirts, cool designs, but we use the clothing to really start conversations, to lead us into different events, and to do something positive that the world has never seen. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can relate with what all of you guys said because I'm from Bolivia, right? And there isn't much fashion there. It's very so they've never heard of Margiela, for example. They've never heard of they don't know what aim Dior means, or like any collabs between Jordan and this, or what they mean. You know, if they did the band Nike ad, I don't know if you remember it. They brought that back.
Oh yeah, that was
They
that.
wouldn't know what that is,
Right.
and even less with like designer clothing. And when I came here, like to the United States, I wanted to come with the mindset that I have to take advantage of these opportunities of like these people that are trying to bring stuff from other parts of the world or other parts from the culture here to the town. And I love that so much. That's why I wanted to do also about fashion and about culture because fashion is culture. And that's the main reason for this episode because it's more than just like clothes or how you look. It's more about how you feel, what it means to like communities and people. And especially for like college students, they all like if you go and ask like any college student now if they wanted to open like a fashion store right now, have their own like designs or whatever, most of them will say yes. Definitely.
Everybody's dabbling. On my way here, I saw a sidewalk sale from, just what looked like some random person brought out 2 racks,
Yes.
just, and I wanted to pull over, of course, because like,
That's like I'm gonna come out.
yeah, that's who I
I
am.
discovered the coolest things like
But no, but I mean, I agree with you. Chicago is like so populous compared to a lot of these places, and we still don't have a thing like that. So like, I think one thing that's brought me a ton of success through my online platform is like shipping's always free. Like I've never once charged for shipping because like somebody in the boondocks of like Kentucky or someplace has like that feeling like yo, there's nothing around me times 50. You know, they have to drive to like an actual different province, state, like hundreds of miles sometimes to get what they're looking for. So
Also, there's the issue that people want to try on the clothes before
yeah,
they buy because they don't know
Mm.
how it will fit to their body or whatever. So yeah, that's and
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even realize that's what you do. That's cool though. Like,
Yeah, I mean, dude, I like some of my best customers are just like some dude that's in Alabama or like, some spot like Arizona that's like no offense to streetwear, but I lean a little bit more archived like designer, you know what I mean? And maybe it's somebody who's in like, Arizona specifically is what comes to mind where it's like all sneakers, all streetwear, and they like are just looking for something a little bit different taste.
for sure,
So
for sure. Something that actually like made me like realize that too, because like sometimes like I'm born and raised in Chicago, and it's like I always thought, oh, Chicago, we don't have all this and this and this, and like we're so like blessed to have a lot of other stuff.
oh yeah.
Because like I was thinking about this, like it was like with the like it's random, but with the Supreme Cardi t-shirt, like I online everywhere it's sold out. But in store, they still had anybody to go. Anybody could go because it's like these kids don't. Yeah, exactly. Like the kids that are from Kentucky or whatever, they don't have a store. They can't get us. They're all buying it. But then people who are in Chicago, LA, New York, whatever, they
I have like really fond memories of being a kid, and my cousin taking me to Leaders,
Yes.
1954 to grab like just like Jeremy Scott, Adidas collabs or whatever, because we could like by the time that they were still there, we could see that like the rest of the world was eating them up at that time. Like it was just like
Leaders.
that Chicago still got some.
Leaders is an important store though. That's an important.
Oh hell yeah,
dude,
Anthony Davis, yeah, they're at it.
Yeah,
Like that's culturally, Leaders is huge.
It was huge. Yeah, I went there so much going on.
You guys have different niches as we talk. You are like streetwear. You guys are like archive fashion. Why did you choose your niche?
Well, I actually wanted to build on that. What all you guys are saying. One, Nicholas, I really love what you're saying. Like across the world, coming here, you wanted to understand and be a part, and also resonate with the whole fashion vibe, right? And I think the through line in that is connection, right? Like that's the piece that I think fashion, we use that in the most way possible, right? It's how we
That's facilitating that goal.
Exactly, right? And so that leads us into the niche. So it's not just streetwear, we're luxury streetwear. So that's us attempting to combine two different cultures, right? In some realms. And I think the world is naturally doing that in some ways too. But with that combination of cultures, we now have to learn about each other. I have to learn how you dress versus how I dress. And when we collab, how do we make that really attractive to the rest of the world, right? So it adds on to that
Which is
connection.
the cool thing about fashion as an industry, because it's like it's really difficult to fake it. You know what I mean? To fake like authenticity like that. Like you're gonna get found out eventually. Like you're just like you gotta come from a place of like authenticity. Connection is what the goal. But it's like sincerity as well.
I thought you were going like your fit is terrible. You can't hide that.
The truth.
You are not in fashion.
You think-
I got you.
No, but people like it is true though. Like if somebody's spit is terrible, you can't hide that.
Especially like especially when you're trying to position yourself as luxury streetwear, or like somebody who's at a position to dictate taste. You know what I mean? Like if you are the runner of the house, in even small ways, you dictate what you think people are gonna be into.
Yeah.
I get that. There's actually one store. There's just one store in my country that's like streetwear or like hype. Like they have like Balenciaga and stuff, and they promote it as like the fashion that is in the world. And they have kind of tricked it into the minds of every person out there that everybody should be wearing Jordans or Dunks or like Sambas or like this specific thing because it's what they think fashion is. Everything they sell, I found that most of the things they sell are fake, and they promote it as true. So that's the issue they have too.
Yeah.
But I don't like how they are because they are very fake, and that's very true. And when I met each of you guys separately, I didn't get that feeling with you guys. You guys are very authentic. You're very true to what you sell, to what you do. You said that you sell some clothes for like cheaper because you want them to have it. So something like, could you?
Yeah, I love putting somebody in some stuff they really want. Like my whole niche is archive, which is like, if you're not familiar with the term, it's generally just like ancient fashion. You know what I mean? And part of that is showing somebody that something's been done before, or done in a better way, or in a similar enough way that like somebody who would only be familiar with the story you're talking about in your home country, like that a person who walks in there might think that that's all there is. You know what I mean? So like what I love about archive is like that's you can come with photos that's been done before, and like that draws you to new inspirations, and there's stories behind everything.
Let me ask, what's the difference between archive and vintage?
Or something that's vintage necessarily doesn't necessarily have any provenance of like designer or like artistry behind it.
Got it.
Something like
Got
vintage could be expensive because it's from the 50s, or it's made with like a specific fabric pattern that is from a defunct machine. You know what I mean? Something like that. I have some friends in St. Louis who live next to the Goodwill outlets there, where everything converges, and they just clean house on things like that. Where it doesn't come out with like a brand name or any artist who you can attribute it to, but it comes out with like donut buttons, because with like the donut button was created to save just a tiny bit of metal for bullets during World War II, you know? So there's like small little facts like that
Now I
that
understand.
create the provenance for a vintage item, you know?
I think also like
Which is what dictates it from like a 2010 t-shirt that you find.
It's like the
You know-
pivotal moments in fashion.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
influenced
But
that
it's
was true.
but it's also because I think like the word archive, what it got associated with for as far as like fashion and clothing is more like these designer pieces. So when you think of like archive, I'm thinking more of like from certain designers, even though that doesn't necessarily mean that. You could have like an archive t-shirt or whatever from like you were saying, some random vintage shirt. But I think just like what now when people think of archive fashion, they think of like, archive what Andy Luister piece or like, something that's like associated with it.
There's a large online community for it too.
Yeah.
That I think archive as a term kind of just generally gets attributed to that community.
Yeah,
And the way those people act, you know. It's like, I'm not going to comment on maturity the maturity of some people in the archive community, but
Sure.
I do have a question for all of you. So you guys told me that you kind of knew that you were into fashion and kind of wanted to do something with it. What are the steps, like punctually the steps you took to make that from an idea to like an actual store? Anybody want?
I guess like for us from making it to like, I guess like from like the store aspect of it was like we started doing pop-ups. My brother and I like recently graduated college like not too long ago. So like we were in school summers, we come back, do like pop-ups. Like it honestly started being like our own closet, like the things that we thought were cool, but we're trying to get rid of. Then like we accumulated some money. We're doing like different pop-ups. Then we started using that money to buy like inventory and stock. And then just slowly like got better at it, got our taste up, curated different things, kept doing the pop-ups, and then it was like, okay, now we have a bunch of stuff. I finished school. Let's like, our parents were honestly like, I don't want all these clothes in the house anymore too. Like you guys need to like have a space. And like we didn't want to bring random people over that we didn't know that well. So like, okay, we like looked to find like a showroom space, like an artist studio, and we got signed a lease on it, moved in, and then yeah, now we're like on our second one. So that's kind of like what our process was. But it just takes time because like this is what been like 5 years now. So like it takes time, but if you stay with it, it's like it sounds corny, but like you actually like put your mind at something like it definitely does like come into fruition slowly, like. But yeah.
Oh, can I build on that? That last statement there, if it takes time, and if you stay consistent with it, that's where it is. But that's why step one needs to be: are you passionate about it? Do you actually love it,
it's
or are
not
you
going to be consistent. It's
right?
going to be work to be consistent,
You think you're in this to make a quick buck? I can flip an archive piece and I can make good money. I hear you are. I'm going to do that. If that's your approach, you will fail every time.
Right, yeah. You're going to deal with the exhaustion of having to do that to support any other thing in your life. You know what I mean? It's so easy to flip a t-shirt one time. The hard part is finding the t-shirt again to flip it again. Like doing that to a turn client. Right, exactly. And to the point that you have something that's not just some dude with eBay account. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
And the passion is to learn it so that you can the research you do on all the archive pieces, that is what makes you a better seller for that product, right? That's what makes you ready to wake up and sell that product the next day. So basically step one is make sure you love it, have passion, and
Yeah.
is it actually going to drive you to wake up every day? And when you're broke because nothing's selling, will you still love it?
Yeah. Right.
That's where you need to be.
One thing that I learned super early on with this is that like personally, just with where I come from, I might never be the most connected seller. I might never have like $60,000 of stock in like, one singular item, like that's just not how I sell. I try to get people into clothes they like without like completely draining their account,
Right.
But like one thing I could always do is be the best customer service. You can always be the most researched. You can always be like the friendliest dude, like those are top tier attributes you can bring to your brand literally just through like a change of thinking. You don't with proving a track record of customer service, like that takes effort and time, but if you put yourself into that mindset, like this is one thing that my brand can be the best at without having to put tons of money into, the background of it. Like
I think
it's a good place to start.
that's a big piece, right? When we're talking about the steps to building out your brand, that could be step two, right? Not only making sure you approach it with good customer service, but refining that. 'Cause
Right.
it's a skill.
Right, and nearly
Yeah.
nowhere, no matter where you are on that process of becoming a store, like that's a change you can implement,
100%.
and it's gonna bring you positive
even on your websites, right? Those emails back and forth, that's customer service. Nicholas said it to be, I'm the best, I, best salesman you've heard in terms of the script, right? You think I started there? No, but I recognized where I wanted to go, and I spent countless hours on YouTube researching, right? So very similar to you and your craft, researching about what is the right script. How do I make it mine? How do I tweak this? How does it fit in with Chinatown community, right?
How do you not notice it's a script?
Right.
That's
Exactly.
what you gotta figure out.
Exactly.
I mean, you got that too. You know, it's
No, I could tell like you've done your research for sure. Yeah.
Well, it's all the micro steps to get there, right? Nobody's brand is what people see straight from the back. They spent so much time behind the scenes, even before they knew their own name, the brand name, developing these different things. So the passion, the customer service, and I think you just keep doing it till it gets so big that you have no choice but to get another space.
But I agree with what you were saying with like you have to like really like love it first. That was honestly like a good point. Just because like it looks like in theory it's like it looks cool and stuff like that. But it's like there's so much stuff you have to do that like isn't as cool as you think. You know what I mean? Like I just came from like just like sitting in the showroom, just like taking pictures, measurements, like on my hands and knees, bro, steaming clothes for like hours. So you don't see that. You're just like you see when you're like, wow, you have all these clothes, it's cool. Like I don't know, you're doing the events and people are buying stuff. But it's like there's a lot more that goes into that isn't as cool on paper, like being in Excel or like that's not as fun. But it's like I do that because I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like I love like what like comes with it. So you have to do a lot, but I don't know. It's fun at the end of the day.
Threw me back to yesterday.
It's like
Right.
but I do like I haven't even asked you as much. Like what do you mainly carry in your boutique or like what? Because I know you said something about like your own. I don't know. Just I'll let you explain it.
So our space is unique, right? Just because of how it developed. I think, like I said, the main initiative when we opened was just reselling sneakers, right? So much hype, right? And then that led to some hype clothing to go hand in hand with it, right? So those two inventory streams have grown naturally. But after the first 2, 3 months of our boutique, when we decided, hey, let's create our own brand to have this platform impact our community, that's what makes us truly unique. Because not only do we have the hype stuff from top to bottom, we have our brand. And then because of our brand and how we've collabed, we have other local brands. Because once we collaborate, let's say we do a collaboration together, now you guys have the ability to consign your brand in our store and boutique as well.
Right, and that is a little bit different than what we were talking just a second ago with leaders. Like leaders always had a great clothing line. They would put out the sickest graphics, like just back when like that was like this is pre-Supreme like standardizing every graphic. You know,
Right,
it was
right.
like super valid if you had um a esoteric leaders graphic, you know? But like in 2025, collaboration is kind of what separates you from that, like the bridging of two communities that people have created and bringing that like one step further than what they ended up doing, you know?
100%. And I think that's the true intent of the collaboration, just to do something new, and impact multiple communities at once. For example, the one of the biggest events that we did was 2 months ago, a footwear competition. So nothing to do with fashion, right? But it was us.
Inspire.
Yeah, and we discovered Prophecy, which is a dance group from the west and south sides of Chicago. They've grown now. They're like worldwide, Japan, members from Japan, all that fun stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, so 2 months ago we did part two of the forward competition because the first was in 2023. But the main point was to bridge our historical divides, to do something positive, right? Chinatown versus Englewood, Chinatown versus Austin community, right? We have never done anything cool. Let's do that. And it turns out fashion is the thing that's tight.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Chinatown really does have one of the better like local communities for like actually showing up in a fashion situation, you know what I mean? Like
Most of the pop-ups I've gone to have been near Chinatown. I don't know why. Like,
Yeah, I mean we're not far. Like I guess our showroom's like it's really close to.
I would consider you guys are in Chinatown.
Yeah, like I think we would say like more Pilsen, but like Chinatown. Like when I take the
huge.
train, it's like I go to Chinatown. Stop. Saying
I do appointments at my place in Humboldt Park.
Oh,
And like very rarely are people from Humboldt Park obviously coming to shop, but it's like either Pilsen, Chinatown, or
The every size shop.
expect the money to be at, you know what I mean?
is your boutique like in like the main Chinatown like square?
not the square.
Okay.
Their rent is crazy in square. It's literally like 10 times more than what I pay. think about it that way. But I'm on Cermak.
Okay, yeah.
You know where the Starbucks is at.
We're on
Fire-
Cermak too, but we're
Oh,
on
of course.
Cermak and Throop, so we're just farther west.
But the U-Haul.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Right past the U-Haul, yeah.
I just did a pop-up at Rick Ramos gym. You guys know where that's at?
Yeah, in Design is it in Design at 329? Or is that Dark Horse Gym?
I don't know.
There's some weird
I was in a building called Vanda Contemporary.
Got it. Well, it's in the same vicinity,
Yeah.
but so I totally. But yeah, we're neighbors. We're on the same street. We're literally 5 minutes away from each other. So definitely swing by. No, trust me. The podcast brought us together, but there will have follow-up conversation now that I know what you guys do. But yeah, just to wrap it up, for the boutique, that's why, because we're this big hybrid space, right? You named it. Leaders definitely has the hype stuff and their brand, right?
Yeah, community support, but you kind of took that a step further and involved the community. It's sweet to be loved, but it's it's even cooler to show love. You know what I mean?
Well, and I got that model again from my background and passion. So I'm originally from New York, and in New York, there are so many boutiques that are literally just local brands. That's it. They have no hype stuff.
Yeah.
It is just 40 different local brands, and they just have contracts with all the people, and that's what they sell, right? And I love going to those stores because I'm like, holy cow, someone designed this? This is way better than Louis Vuitton, right? No offense to, but
There.
but that was something I didn't see in Chicago, right? Or at least a space for that. So having been into the hype, having passion behind my own brand and creativity, and then finally that background from New York, we made it all work.
Yeah. When did you come to Chicago?
10 years ago. So 2017, I graduated from Indiana, DePaul University in Indiana, and that just brought me to the Midwest. And I just spent my adult life in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There is one really sick store in Chicago that kind of does something similar to that, but they're much more women's wear coded. So they're definitely your counterpart in that way, and they're definitely so far from sneaker. It's more like a combination of what we do with the local designers.
Got it.
So it's interesting to hear your perspective. You know what I mean?
No, that I.
Called, everything. They're in Pilsen. Yeah.
They're cool.
Well, let me take it
Great
back.
spot.
Streetwear.
Yeah.
Streetwear for
Yeah.
sure. In New York, it's all because you're right. I can't imagine. There hasn't been too many other spaces that I've discovered the outside of streetwear. So
Yeah, and your spot is super original. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's interesting from my perspective because my life is 99% archive. You know what I mean? And then I love these community events that we get to do sometimes too. And it's interesting to hear it from your streetwear sneaker store perspective, which I don't dabble in my own business a ton, that you also really love to do these things like that and finding the local people, the local artists and artisans, which is something that I love the most about everything store. That's
Right.
that's what puts it at the top tier for me.
Do you guys spoke about the skills you guys need to open a store, the passion, everything else, but there's also a monetary and resource situation you guys have to have before starting your own brand. Could you guys tell us? Because many of the people watching might get better on them or might already have the skills to sell or have the passion for fashion. But what about those things that they have to get, the resources, materials? What do you guys would say is a fair enough start for them?
Are we putting a number on it?
Yeah.
That would really just depend on
on the field.
field, right? If you're gonna go luxury vintage, or are you gonna go archive?
On your specific field.
I don't know, dude. I feel you can't put a monetary value,
Right.
because it's definitely you can start with 3 pieces, and then that's what a couple few $100s, and then you slowly
It's gonna take you
Yeah,
forever, but yeah, you could
but
start.
it takes time. Yeah, you could start with that, but I think the main thing that's maybe not monetary, you have to be willing to risk. You have to be cool with risk. So even if it's risk to get there, you know what I mean, you have to take some chances and do things that you maybe don't feel comfortable doing. Not saying anything ridiculous.
What you plan to do for this t-shirt?
What's the Marco Squares business?
No, but you know what I mean. You have to be willing to work a job and then take that money that you made and risk it. You know what I mean? It's not 100% guaranteed that what you're gonna do is gonna be successful. So you have to be willing to because I know a lot of people that want to do stuff but aren't comfortable investing and doing taking a risk. So that's what I mean by that. But so yeah, you have to be comfortable to take your money and not see it back for a long time.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I feel your growth potential is definitely tied to your risk tolerance.
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
if you can I mean, there's definitely some validity to sticking to what you know and just mastering your craft, staying in your niche, but like to grow and to expand your brand and meet new people and do like new things like we were just talking about takes, stepping out of that comfort zone and
Yeah.
not pushing packs like
No. Like I'm not saying I'm not saying anything
but,
crazy. Like just being
yeah.
like for example, like I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. Like this isn't in the start, but like for like our new showroom we moved into, like it's double the square footage, so obviously like the price is going up and stuff. So like you have to like be like, are we gonna take this risk and like are we gonna make that money? Like are we putting more money in? Or are you gonna make it back? So that's what I mean by that. Like you just have to like be comfortable with taking chances and be like a little bit crazy in some ways. Just like I think I can do it, like and because you believe in yourself. It's like sounds corny again, but like you have to also believe in yourself.
How long into the game did it take you guys to like make a profit out of?
I was lucky enough when I started this, I was living at my mom's crib. Yeah,
Oh.
so like 23 or something, like just could like not didn't have to pay rent, So that killed overhead. Like my overhead was effectively zero, Like Shopify percentages are like pretty negligible. Um so like I don't know. So it's just really how you phrase profit, you know what I mean? Like you're making profit in that situation, but like it's like in the terms of being like a business and actually making a living, you're like really not turning a profit in that way. You're just like, you're going through the motions until it eventually something catches and then it starts to snowball.
I like that. Well, dude, I completely agree. It's hard to put a number on anything, right? But to have the risks, because depending on the level of that risk, that number will change, right? Because in you doubling your space, you're anticipating with that extra space it brings in profit, but we don't know that till we get double the space. So you always have to invest and put that risk out first, right? So I agree completely there. Um, but I wanna add an extra piece because I think in entrepreneurship world and fashion world, sometimes it's frowned upon if that's not the only thing you're busting your ass doing, and you better struggle and show us that you can blow up off the struggle, right? And if it's anything else, it's kinda frowned upon.
Yeah, it's just like a romanticism to it.
Right.
It's just like what doesn't actually get you anywhere because no one's gonna, I mean, unless people are actually gonna write like biographies of your life. Be matter. It's really not gonna matter how romantic your struggle was.
Right.
Like to be true to yourself. Don't like take cop outs and like heavily rely on other people to get you there for you. But like,
Right.
yeah, don't romanticize the struggle either. No.
And
Yeah.
some people naturally they take that struggle path and that's how they get
Yeah.
their power to you, right? But don't stop yourself from getting a 9 to 5 to fund the beginning of what your vision could be just because of the stigmas out there, right? You need to do what you need to do to set up your entrepreneur life. And I think a lot of young entrepreneurs, they're just scared of that. Like right out of school, they're like, I'm not working a 9 to 5. Nope, because I told everybody I'd be a fashion designer and da, da, da."
Yeah.
And that's okay. If you want to do that,
It's like
it's
a
cool.
betrayal to yourself to
Right.
take that. Yeah.
But I want to break that down because I understand UIC students are listening to this. It's okay to go out there, gather a paycheck, and that paycheck is going to help grow your business till one day
Great.
I don't need to think so much about this
You
paycheck.
can be your best customer until you find your best customer. You know what I mean?
Yes. I think that's important. So there's no number, but do what you need to do to get to that number, depending on your goals and your field.
But like you just can't expect things are just gonna happen. Like that's what just like you have to put something into it and then keep working on it and building it and it's gonna come. But like it's still like I mean, while I'm still feel like early in our stages of it, just like every day is another like just get a little bit better, get a little bit better and just like put the work in. Like I don't know, just like it's a lot of stuff sounds cliche, but like there is like a lot of truth to like a lot of those phrases that you hear. But yeah.
Yeah, look, Gucci didn't do that. Become Gucci till 60 years into their brand. You know what I mean? I don't know that. I'm just throwing it out. But you get me, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's so much that went into it that we don't know. And I want to circle back to one last thing because we're talking about risk. We're talking about struggle. We're talking about you got to work 4 jobs to get that one dream, right? Your first shirt release. And that's all worth it. You asked the question of when did we first make profit? It's not that simple. You might profit 1 month, you might not profit the next.
Yeah.
You might do great 1 month and be broke the next 3 months. Again, do you love it enough and will you put in enough work to get you back to that great for those moments you can get it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely like not like truth. It's not like not trying to deter anybody from doing it, but it's not just like all like amazing and all this stuff's good. Like, yeah, some days it's like, wow, like it's crazy. Some days it's like, damn, like okay, like but
Right.
You really
just
got
gotta
a lot
love
of
it.
different parts working for you.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
like if like one singular aspect of it isn't going your way, like, you'll notice it.
Even like in your business stages, you guys face some setbacks, right? I'm guessing you guys get like robbed, or maybe you guys maybe someone pays with cash, it doesn't work or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to recover.
In our niche specifically, I think, I mean, I don't know how much you deal with it, but like credit card fraud is thin, dude. Like
It's like a store, bro. Trust me, I deal with that.
I guess they're never even secret. They do it in person too. But
In your face.
right, dude. It's like specific items, but like I know anytime I'm listening like something Chrome, Vetmont, I'm going to get a fake sale before I get the real one. And like luckily, like you can learn to use your tools and tell like, yo, I shouldn't fulfill this. You know, like this is the one that's gonna get I can't remember what it got. Chargebacks. Yeah. This is
But you don't know that at first.
right.
Yeah.
For sure. You gotta learn through that. You gotta take those L's.
You gotta take
you
that
know?
ID.
You're eager. Everybody's so eager. Yeah, I'm gonna ship out this $1,000 pair. She's like, finally got a sale. I've been trying to sell it for the last month, and then I get a chargeback.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
What do? You can quit in that moment and be like, this is over. I lost all the money, or I could be like, that sucked, but I love this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna do better.
Yeah.
I'm not letting this
Right.
happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure, many setbacks, and that's okay. One common. What other ones have you guys stories in your race?
I think
I have interest.
like so personally, and I know you've never had this experience because I asked you about it last week when we were doing that pop up, but like it is really rare that somebody like is coming to like take something from us in a robbery type way. Whereas I know in Chicago it's a big problem with like smashing grabs and smashing front doors and
Yeah.
grabbing stock, you know. So
Oh
that's-
yeah.
that's something that personally we don't have to deal with as often as it sounds like you probably do.
Fair enough. Fair
I
enough.
don't know if that's as common in Chinatown as it is in other parts of.
No, and I think it was mostly during the pandemic.
Right, yeah.
It's happening to slow down.
But it still happens though. Like boutiques were having a big issue.
Like the
with it.
pop up just closed, like the store, the pop up just closed because they've gotten like it just happened again to them recently, and they got it's like that's unfortunate about Chicago that happens. I'm trying to think like setback wise, I think with us is like with us getting things secondhand and like you have to like get good at authenticating all this stuff.
Yeah,
And like I've definitely gotten some fake stuff.
That's
so.
Oh yeah, I just did this morning. These got to. Yeah, dude, they're getting good, bro. You just like that's another thing too is like the utility of having. So like once you built this, you know what I mean. The utility of having one more item to sell versus the utility of only ever like doing things the right way and never trying to like scam somebody or like hide some fake shit with the rest of your real shit is like the utility of having a true platform that people can trust is so much more valuable than the utility of any singular item. You know what I mean? It's like don't like to anybody listening to this that's like thinking about starting that, it's not worth like the risk of burning every connection you've made just because you're in a tough spot. You know what I mean? Like you're always gonna be able to get yourself out of a tough spot. Like you never some of those connections you can't build back.
It's actually quite the opposite, right? As the person who's trying to build that trusting platform that the world can come to and never think twice, you have to take the hit so many times. You're having to see, right? To be like, yeah, I just lost, but I'm still putting my best foot forward, so you can trust me.
This
Though I just lost 5,000.
Yeah, this guy was not with this guy messed me up real bad. But like for these next 10 customers that come in, I'm gonna still be the person they expect and the business they expect. The place to come.
You guys spoke a lot about like community and how you kind of survive because of the community what you guys have built. How did you first like lure them into your not lure them but
Attract, I guess.
Take it easy.
how did you attract the community or people who were interested in the type of things you guys sell, and how do you guys do it now?
I think at first it's just like being like just like from here and like it starts with like your like all your friends and like family and like the connections you have and like I grew up all over the place. Like we were all over the city, me and my brother. So like we knew a lot of people from a bunch of different places. From there, it just like slowly like the word spreads and it's like doing a bunch of stuff. And then I think just like having like for us in our case, it's like having a curation that like people are really like attracted to and like resonate with. Like that's gonna bring like like-minded people that like the same things. And then also trying to like keep it where it's like, because I know like going to stores when I was younger, people would be like, they walk in, they wouldn't say anything, not even acknowledge you're there. Like, I think like making that like atmosphere that's like, I'm welcoming. I don't care if you know nothing about fashion. You want to come here and you get excited about clothes or want to ask me a question. Like, I'm cool with that. I'm going to talk. Like, I remember you came, I'm just going to talk to you. Like, I don't want anybody to feel like not welcome. So I think that is like important. That builds a community aspect because it's not like deterring people away. Like, you don't know about this archive Rick Owens piece. Like, I don't care if you don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know everything. Like, I talked to Drew and I'm like, Drew's like an encyclopedia. You know what I mean?
No, I think the thing that gained me in my community, bro, is like there's so many archive resellers out there who like have a little bit of like daddy's money or some shit, like 2 archive items that they think are like, enough to like make them like, an archive seller. But like I think what really built me my niche is by like identifying these like market standardized items and then taking like 20% or as much as I can like tolerate off the sale price and just eating a less of a margin to prove to somebody that like this is the place to come to get a good deal, like I'll take that arrow in the back,
Yeah, yeah.
to create this space.
Client acquisition.
Right,
You might give out a coupon to the first time customer, but hey, you get some percent off for casinos for the first time.
and yeah, and making 50% and making a new customer has more value than making 150% and a customer that thinks you are a scumbag because you just torched him on the price and he can get it elsewhere way cheaper. You just had it in person.
That statement just put together everything we said in terms of like the steps to making sure people come back and you have a brand, right? It's not a brand if people don't come back.
Exactly.
That's really
Yeah, it's an Instagram page.
Yeah. Remind me of the larger how we built our niche. For for me, I think it circles back to even the way I first answered the question that fashion, whether it's sneakers or our own brand, is about connection, right? So whether it was before Vital Chinatown and I was selling sneakers, I use that as a way to, hey, tell me about what do you do? Da, 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 right? We got to know each other on a personal level. On top of, oh, this is why you like this product. All right, cool. I'll make sure I keep letting you know when I get it, right? And that conversation, that transaction became so much more meaningful when it was our brand, right? And now we could really transfer the emotions, the confidence we have behind why we designed this as we're getting to know you. So I think that's how we built our community.
Right. If you want something really special, it'd be way cooler to go get it from someone like Vital than to go to a faceless Foot Locker and be like,
Yes,
I know
that's also
the new
something.
J's. And it's like, dude, like, I want a friend who hooks me up with the new J's. Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, that's the cool part about being a face and like a community in Chicago. It's like, you know, if you're going to come to a pop up at Marco Squared, Odyssey Rebuilds there's going to be some like 20-year-old shit you've never seen before except on the internet, Like, if you make the trip to Chinatown and stop in there, like, there's going to be someone to like put a face on this pair you're buying and be really happy when you come back in next time. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
No,
I think your naming, you have to go those extra miles. All of us are going extra miles.
Yeah.
That's what it takes.
I think it's interesting too. Like Loki, I just saw this morning. It's like, it was like they're doing like a Virgil exhibition in Paris, and there was like it was like Martine Rose talking. I don't know if you guys saw like it was like because they like have a bunch of people talk about it, whatever. But Martine Rose is talking about her favorite part about fashion and like just like clothing in general is like the people she meets because of it. And like I think that's like really odd, but I like really stuck to me because I like really like it like resonated with that. It's like that's the coolest part about obviously like seeing the clothes, being able to do that's cool, but like I love like all these people I met. Like I wouldn't have been here right now, and I wouldn't have met Drew or now you like if it wasn't for clothes. You know what I'm saying? In fashion.
That's what my name is. Like, like to me, like my mom was a speech pathologist and always read Greek literature as a tool for her work. So the Odyssey is a story to me. I always interpreted that as like just in like at a time of confusion, interpreting people who are vastly different from you and like, building connections with these people and stories out of that.
This is so cool.
Right. So that's just like, that's where I started. It's like, that's the goal, really. I love when customers send me some fit pics. Like, I don't even if I don't remember selling them the item, they'll be like, shout out Odyssey Rebuild. And I'm like, bro, like, you look so happy. And that makes me so happy.
That's dope.
Yeah.
sadly, we're kind of out of time. But before we end, I'm kind of trying this format where I ask every guest to say like a quote so that somebody can quote you. Because I think it's cool. So you guys get to like,
There's a lot of pressure on my
yeah, dude. I'm like, whoa. And I always do it on the spot,
Philosophers get
so it's
ears
like
for that.
more authentic. So that's how I would like to end this podcast. If you guys want to say also your further projects or things you are going to be working at, where they can find you, that could be cool too. Yeah, and at the end, like your quote, what you believe in, and what is true to you.
Oh, I guess I'll just start it like I think like a quote like I guess just like being like kind of cliche again, but just like think if you do something that actually makes you happy at the end of the day and you enjoy it, it sounds like corny at the end of the day, but you actually do feel more fulfilled at the end of the day and you get that like satisfaction of like sticking to something that you believe in. And I think that's like really important. And that goes more than just like doing something because you're supposed to do it. Doing something that you like to do and enjoy and love can go way longer than anything else. So that's something I'll say. Future projects. We got a pop-up coming with buy sell DM Black Friday that weekend. So that'll be cool. I mean, showrooms open all the time. Marco.sqrd on Instagram, where whatever you guys see, you can always DM us, message us, whatever. But I'll let Drew talk.
I bet. Awesome. Yeah, my quote. I don't know. My like go-to is always from Mark Twain. All you need in life for success is ignorance and confidence. But like as I've gotten older, that's like it's true in a way. He just needs to add a couple more words, you know? Like all you need for success is like ignorance to your own failures and confidence that you'll have more successes, you know? Yeah, you need to learn from them, but you need the confidence part to try again each time. As far as future projects, my girlfriend is a ceramic designer. We just dropped some hangers on our website. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, we just dropped some hangers on our website that she designed. And we're doing a pop-up in 2 weeks with Everything Store, unless the building managers say no. So, if you're listening to this, check out my Instagram. Wait for that flyer. Other than that, I'm just gonna keep spamming my site.
Sweet. I think one of the next steps for us, even before I get my quote for Vital, is to look more into your guys' brains, because it's just that we're doing so many similar things, right? Especially the in-person events.
Some shit together.
No, I can
We
relate.
will. We will. We'll chat.
I'm like, yeah, I feel you.
We'll definitely connect. So podcast people look forward to that. But I kind of have like two quick quotes. One is there's no success without failure. So very much with you there. There's no point in success without failure, right? So I think that's important for our audience to hear and recognize. But the other one is don't ever let anyone rock you off your center, whatever your center is, right? We talked about passion. Once you find your center, it doesn't matter what's coming at you. You stick to your center, and that will bring you all the success you need. So that's always been a quote I live by. Don't let anyone rock you off your center. For us as a brand, Vital Chinatown, you can find us on Instagram just like that, Vital Chinatown. We have a few things coming up on the 18th where I was telling you guys about it at Time Out Market. Joining a vending fashion show kind of thing for Chicago Fashion Week, so that's cool. We have 2 upcoming collabs, one by Camp ID from Englewood. So it'll be the first time Chinatown and Englewood are doing a project together with music involved, the concert, all that fun stuff. So that'll be coming out in the next month or two. And then our collab with Devori, a brand about mental health. So our audience will see that too. So those are the things we're working on right now. But
Exciting.
more to come.
Very cool. And thank you guys for coming here. It was very exciting to hear you guys talk and kind of have a discussion. That was the whole point. I wanted to hear how you guys can build on each one's stories and maybe help each other out. I don't know, and help like the people that are listening out. Whoever wants to like go out and do the same thing, because there's many people out here want to do it. So maybe one of them will listen and actually take the risk, have the passion, and just build the skills.
It's not a hard thing to start. It's a hard thing to have success at.
Yeah, for surely.
Oh yeah, thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Righty. Yeah, let's exchange all the contacts, guys. No, like as we were talking, like, it's funny because we all do it in our own fields.
Yeah.
We have different fields, but we are doing the same things in different ways.